Hi everyone. I wanted to make this video because I know that there are, after going through antidepressant withdrawal myself, I know that there are so many people that are going through it, and I think at the time when I was going through it, the thing that comforted me the most, well, it was one of the only things that could comfort me, is finding other people that had been through it and got through it and come out the other side. And it was what I lived for at the time, like searching for anyone that, could relate to the suffering that I had been going through. Is it normal? Did they experience the same symptoms as me? Yeah, so that's what this video is about, basically, to just bring some comfort and reassurance, and not to listen to the horror stories that you might see and the forums. I know that at the time they may bring comfort, and to find out information, to find out the withdrawal symptoms of what other people are experiencing, and compare, and gather as much information as you possibly can. But I think there are a lot of horror stories out there, and there are a lot of people that are going through antidepressant withdrawal. You're suffering so badly, and you just think at the time, you just have no idea if you're going to get through it or not. Is it going to last forever? You tell yourself that your situation is much worse than somebody else's, because you've got X, Y, and Z going on that's added to your situation. Surely nobody else has gone through that, or just everything else, all the chatter in your head, obviously, on top of the symptoms that you're already suffering. But you do come out the other side. Like, you just have to keep holding on, keep reminding yourself that you will get through it. You are withdrawing from a drug. Your brain receptors are healing. Right now they've gone haywire, and they're just trying to basically find their way back to each other. This process is not, it's not linear. It is an up and down thing. You can have a terrible day and then go on to have a few good days, and then back to having an even worse day than you did have before. It's a continuously up and down, like, as they say, windows and waves. It's your heat. But the way I like to have looked at it is, even on my worst days, I was still healing. Like, that the symptoms were my body trying to find its way back to homeostasis, like just trying to get back to normality. And it's really important that you continuously remind yourself every single day that you are healing, you are going to get better. Like, I promise, like, it's not going to be like this forever. Like, I went through it for 7 months, I think, all in all. I was on antidepressants for 8 weeks, a very short period of time in comparison to so many others that have been on antidepressants for years. And I know that there are people that do suffer for a lot longer than 7 months. And like, I kind of feel like, is that even comforting anybody? But the magnitude of how I felt in that 7 months, and it was like unimaginable, like something I could never have described to anyone. I still can't even describe it to anybody. Like, literally, unless you've actually been through it yourself, you could never possibly understand the dreadful, terrible, horrible feeling it was to live that every day. Like, it was like hell on earth. Like, it was just, I just couldn't think of anything worse. Like, it was just so bad. But yeah, I was on mirtazapine for 8 weeks. I practically came off cold turkey, as advised by my doctor. She told me that because I hadn't been on it that long, that I didn't need to wean myself off of it for that long. So I halved the tablet for a week. Yeah, I halved the tablet for like a week and a half, and then jumped off. And then first 2 days I felt fabulous. I felt on top of the world. I thought, why did I even take them in the first place? I've forgotten what I needed them for. And then after that, all hell broke loose. My body freaked out, and that was it. That was 7 months of every day living in hell. And the symptoms, just, yeah, the symptoms that I had was chemically induced anxiety, palpitations, breathing issues, panic attacks, nerve pains, muscle spasms, inner tremors, like every single morning, literally I would wake up, I think it was like cortisol mornings, like every single morning without fail, I would wake up like I had a heavy night of drinking. Like you literally feel like you've got a hangover, you know, when like you're shaking, like every single morning. That was awful. That's if I could sleep. I had those jerks, like sometimes they would happen to me when I'm not sleeping. Most of the time they would happen when like I was falling asleep. I would like jolt back awake. That happened very often. Insomnia for quite a long period of time. Depression. I'd never been depressed ever. Like, I mean, obviously like a normal human being, I'd had days where I felt down and I'd had things that I'd been through that would make me feel down, but never a depressed state. Like, and this was something that I was new to me. It was horrible. Fear. I was absolutely, I was scared to be in the house by myself. I had never felt like that before. Like I would cherish the moments that I get to spend in my house alone, and it was obviously I love my children, but it was some of my favorite times to just chill in the house by myself. This was not how my brain accepted it at that time. It was like, no, you need to panic. Like, this is a scary thing to be in the house by yourself. I literally used to sit on my doorstep because I was just too scared to sit in the house alone. I was scared to drive. I couldn't drive for ages. Like, driving like locally was fine, but anywhere like to get on a motorway or anything like that wasn't going to happen. I had head pressure. I felt like I couldn't breathe when I had it as well. Like, it was like, I can't even, it was just like my brain was like full up with air or water or something, and it was just like, felt like it was someone was choking me here at the same time. Like, that was awful. I did have a lot of other symptoms. Also, while going through the withdrawal, I had the unfortunately I also had, because my body was probably under so much stress, I had a UTI from hell that didn't want to leave. I had UTIs in the past, nothing like this. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't in any pain. I only had 2 symptoms: mild dull ache on my side and just cloudy urine. But for some reason, this bitch didn't want to go anywhere. So I had to take, I think, 5 different types of antibiotics. And one of those antibiotics was a fluoroquinolone antibiotic, which, if you know about those, like, I basically been floxed within hours of taking the first dose. I noticed, this is just getting onto a whole different topic, but yeah, I started to basically have side effects from that. Then obviously had to stop taking those, took another couple, but it's like the more antibiotics I'd had to take, the more antibiotics I had to take, it affected me. It was affecting me worse and worse, basically, and ended up having my symptoms skyrocket and just completely put me in a black hole. It was that if it was bad before, it was an absolute nightmare afterwards. I know, obviously, after me saying all of this, it's not, I don't want to trigger anyone, but I want to sympathize and empathize and show that, like, other people have been through what you're going through, and other people have come out the other side, and you just have to remember that not everybody that's been through it and come out the other side wants to come back and wants to tell their story, because you just want to get on with your life. And like, I did toy with the idea of like not doing this video, but it's just something inside of me. I just couldn't let it go. Like, I just feel like I have to say something, like, because it's just so many people are going through this, and so many people are suffering, and I just want, even if I could just bring one person like some little bit of comfort, to let them know that like you're not alone, you're not the only person, like other people have been through this and other people are suffering, and I promise you, you are 100% going to get better, and you're 100% going to come out the other side, like, and you will feel absolutely amazing, better than ever, because you will have a newfound appreciation for life and how you feel within yourself, like, and even for the reasons that you even went on the antidepressant or benzo in the first place, you will see how much easier it is to manage that anxiety and manage that depression. I'm not saying that, like, for me, I'm totally against antidepressants. I will never ever go back to the medication that harmed me so badly ever again in my life. There's just no way I would do that. But at the same time, I don't want to bash antidepressants to the point of like telling people don't take them. I can't decide what is best for you, and I do understand that there are a lot of people out there that they do agree with and they have helped, and it has given them a better quality of life. For me, no, I would never take them again. It's not something that I ever wanted to take, and it's not something that I would ever dream about going back to. If anybody has any questions or wants to talk or anything, I mean, I've kind of just sort of skimmed through everything. Like, there was a lot more stuff that took place during that space of time, and you know, there were things that I did to make myself more comfortable at the time that helped me get through that time period. So I will try and make another video and try and organize it a bit better. So yeah, but yeah, if there's anything anyone wants to know or wants me to comment on or ask me any questions, please comment below and I will do the best I can to answer anything.